what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and today we're going to be talking about my picks for the top 10 best games for low-spec gamers, right, that have potatoes, that happen to be free-to-play. These are free-to-play games that are meant to be played on potatoes, or they are designed in such a way that they're optimized and they can run well even on potatoes, or they're played well enough on potatoes, and they're free. So basically, these are games that are meant to be played by as many people as possible, and historically, they have proven themselves. So hopefully you guys get excited for these games, but I am separating the list between 5 2D games and 5 3D games. Now, I've already done tons of lists on low-spec MMOs, low-spec IO games, low-spec 2D this and that, and etc. So I'm going to be mixing and matching my tops from those lists, but you should also just go check out those whole lists as a whole, and I'm going to pick from the best of those genres and slap them in here. So yeah, there's a wealth of different games for different genres and for a different range of levels of potatoes, but hopefully you guys appreciate what I'm trying to do here. So yeah, top 10 low-spec free-to-play games. Let's do it. Starting out our list, we have Fortnite, the best running battle royale game. You can also play this on your iOS device, on Android devices now, and overall, I think everyone can appreciate that for what the battle royale genre is. 100 players jumping down onto an island, crazy explosivity. Fortnite even has building and breaking mechanics. For what this game is, it's actually incredibly optimized. It runs incredibly well, and nothing else in the genre comes anywhere near the performance of this. Realm Royale, almost a little bit, but Fortnite goes above and beyond with its actual gameplay. Plus, cross-platform, all that good stuff. Yeah, now we are focusing this list on PC, but still, man, Fortnite out of the gate just ran so sick, so cleanly, and I still had such color. I'm gonna put it here on a low-spec list, absolutely. A little bit lower, sure, but Fortnite is the game, the most popular game on the planet right now for a reason. Next up, we got Team Fortress 2, which is tried and true. Absolutely, the Valve free-to-play shooter just won't die. Though it is a game that is starting to show its age just a little bit, but Valve has been pretty good at maintaining the game's performance over these years. Even with all the ridiculous cosmetics and ridiculous add-ons that they've had on, it's still not as insane as Paladins or Overwatch or other, now, the new hero shooter genre. So Team Fortress 2 is doing pretty great. As the originator of that genre, it's actually a game that's a little bit more calm, a little bit more slower paced, and it's still wacky and silly, and there's some ridiculous stuff going on here, especially with custom games. You got the jump maps and all that. It's still something a little bit more tame and something that you can play on your laptop, actually. And even if you aren't hitting that 60 or 144 FPS, you can just pick certain classes, you can play a certain playstyle, and you can still have fun in Team Fortress 2, especially in Man vs. Machine. Just engineer it up. Yeah, absolutely. So I am considering that in this list as well. Team Fortress 2, tried and true. It's definitely shown that a lot of people can play it. It's consistently one of the most popular games for a number, crazy, ridiculous amount of reasons, and I think that you having a potato is not a good reason why you haven't played this game yet. Alright guys, coming in at number 8, I'm slapping down Path of Exile, which actually just booped out a Warframe here in this position for action RPG. Now there's a ton that are actually way better running in terms of like better for potatoes, and there's some that look better, like, you know, Warframe. It just technically does look better, and that's pretty well optimized. But I wanted to do kind of the best of both worlds. When you're searching for a list like this, you're looking for what you can really squeeze out of your potato. What is the best looking, most action-packed, but, you know, still like for low-spec computers, and that's gonna be Path of Exile, because of the isometric viewpoint, which definitely beats like any 3D game generally. Even though it is very action-packed, it actually looks really gorgeous, and aside from initial load times, it runs really well throughout the entire experience. Now, things can get insane, absolutely, which is why it's a little bit lower on the list, but overall, Path of Exile is a game that can be run by almost any machine out there, while still being 3D and while still looking really good and being very atmospheric. I really appreciate it, but also one final point here is that even if you cannot play this game at a million FPS, the gameplay is generally slower paced, unlike a lot of these shooters and other action RPGs. It's a little bit more strategic and tactical, and so even if you are playing at just 30 FPS, you're still gonna have a pretty great time. Now at number 7, Unturned. Now, Unturned is going to require, I would say, a super beefy PC to be played at, like, flawlessly. But the thing is, like, this whole genre, this entire genre, none of it plays flawlessly. Nobody basically plays this genre flawlessly, and Unturned is the intro point into this survival server genre, of course, with, you know, the zombie survival type of thing going on. But, I mean, I talk about Unturned all the time, and basically it's because it's super freaking free, as in, it doesn't have any ridiculous microtransactions or anything like that. just like I think a $5 microtransaction just to get customization. Boom, pow. You jump in, there are tons of servers. You can jump in and play with a ton of people, from just normal PvP, you know, like Battlefield style, to, of course, solo survival if you want to do that. So Unturned is basically like the, I guess, kind of child's DayZ, except in the end, I think way more people play this game and take it way more seriously, which is just fantastic. So yeah, I understand that maybe you might not have the best experience playing at 15 FPS on your Potato, but you have to understand what this genre is. This is the best performing and best looking and best, you know, of the survival server genre for Potatoes, and that's why it made the list. Hopefully, if you're looking for a list like this to play low spec 3D games, well, you found Unturned, and hopefully you found what you're looking for. Moving through, number 6, League of Legends. League of Legends obviously is a game that is designed to be very clean. It's supposed to be very readable. It's a game that is supposed to be played by anybody, anywhere, all the time, and that's why it was so freaking popular, so ridiculously explosive with its numbers, its viewership, and it's really because of that art style. It's because of its performance. Everybody could understand it, cleanly see it as a spectator, and of course, when you're playing it on any machine, you basically understand what is going on. I think the game is playable to an extent at 30 FPS. You might not be able to play some heroes. Yeah, maybe you're not going to be jumping around as Yasuo, but in the end, League of Legends does have different characters, different playstyles, different, you know, mentalities going into this, and I think it works with a number of different control schemes. I don't know if you're going to be, you know, touch padding it, but as long as you have just a basic keyboard, laptop keyboard, doesn't have to be great, and you just a basic mouse, then you're good to go. You can be pretty good and go pretty far with the League of Legends. All right, guys, we moved past the half points here. We're at number 5, and now we're going into the full 2D genre list. I'm gonna start out with a game called Bloons TD Battles. So this is a cute game from the Bloons series, which was really popular, a Flash game, actually. You know, you might have played it at like Newgrounds or something like that. Basically, it's tower defense with monkeys and balloons and stuff. But this time, this one I really wanted to talk about is actually PvP oriented. So you send out your balloons and you have your own defenses and you're fighting against somebody in real time. And this is a genre that's a little bit more emergent for modern day, and you kind of see it on mobile devices. You might have heard of Clash Royale, almost kind of has this vibe to it. But anyways, I want to shout out Bloons TD Battles because kind of history with me. I'm actually doing a list on Flash games. I'm going to talk about that as well. You know, I think whenever we're talking about low spec, free to play 2D games, oh man, the history of Flash games absolutely has to rear its head here. You can get this on Steam. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Bloons TD Battles. It's a weird game, but I think you guys are going to have fun. Next up, for the 2D low-spec games, we got Realm of the Mad God. This is going to be the MMO genre, and I'm actually going to do a twofer here because I want to talk about the new game Survived By. Survived By is looking to do the same thing. They're published by Digital Extremes, and overall, I think that's a pretty interesting game. But yeah, let's talk about the more popular Realm of the Mad God. Yeah, this one is very much more established. You can actually still play it in the browser, but you can also download it for like 1 second on Steam, and it's a bullet hell rogue light action RPG MMO game. It's weird. No, it's definitely very strange. It has very open questing. There's open dungeons as well, open partying. So you just kind of group up next to people and just do the do. And overall, it gets really intense. It gets really fun. I actually really like and appreciate the fact that whenever you die, that's how you get new classes. Survive By is going to be very similar to that as well. And there's a few other games kind of taking inspiration from Realm of the Mad God's popularity. But yeah, basically, if you want to play the MMO, the most action-packed and low-spec MMO out there on the planet is going to be Realm of the freaking Mad God. Next, fighting games. There are not that many free-to-play fighting games, and Brawlhalla absolutely smashed the competition. Not only is it free-to-play fighter, but it's also of the emergent platform fighter genre, and I think a lot of people really enjoy this because it's super freaking popular. Now, maybe it's a little bit less explosive compared to something like Smash proper, and there's a couple other like 2D platform fighters. They aren't free to play, and there are some like, you know, Flash fighters out there that you guys probably have played, a lot of parody fighters and stuff like that. Maybe on like nicktoons.com or some ridiculous stuff. There is like niche little fighting games on the internet somewhere, but Brawlhalla is the one that just really came out of nowhere, uppercutted everyone in the face, and jumped into the most played list on Steam. And you know, it's clean, it looks great, it plays great on any machine, and I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun, especially it being a platform fighter and it being the free-to-play platform fighter that runs on any machine. This is basically like Steam's free-to-play Smash. It's actually not a clone. It does do its own thing, which I really appreciate. Hopefully you do too whenever you jump in to Brawlhalla. Now, number 2, Shadowverse. Shadowverse is number 2. I know, I could have put so many CCG here, but like I said, this list is just of specific genres and specific tiers for potatoes, and Shadowverse, I get it, okay? Like, not everyone loves each and every card game, but I just think Shadowverse is a game that I needed to shout out a little bit more. It's made it to some lists, but generally I have to put Hearthstone, because it's just the most popular. Or I put Duelist, because Duelist is a tactical CCG. But in the end, I'm slapping down Shadowverse because it is also on mobile devices. I think it has really gorgeous 2D art, and I think, in the end, I just really appreciate it. Now, I could have put so many different CCG on here, like I said, but I'm slapping down Shadowverse. I just think it's gorgeous, I think it looks good, and I kind of like its mechanics. It's very Hearthstone-y, it's not too ridiculously unique. I could have slapped down Gwent, maybe I should have, but I'm naming Shadowverse. Let me know what you guys think. Like, literally any CCG could have made this list at this point because they all perform equally on, like, any machine because it's a freaking card game. So what CCG is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. But for this one, hey, maybe I just rolled the dice. There it is. Drew the card, Heart of the Cards. Shadowverse made it to number 2. And finally, we made it to our number 1, which could have been almost any general like 2D.io game, but I'm gonna talk about Slitherio. I'm gonna talk about Slither.io. Fun fact, Slither.io actually has freaking toys. You know, I was just looking through the toy department in Target. Dude, they got little like plush snakes, man. That's insane. But Slitherio is actually really good in terms of performance. Like, you can play it on the browser on your phone. Like, you don't even need like the app or anything. Like, you could play this on any device. And generally, like most control schemes, if you're freaking one-handed, you can play Slitherio. It's a pretty cool game. I had fun playing it with my son. He has a hoot and holler with it, and I think you guys will actually too. But like I said, any 2D.io game really could have made that spot as well. So basically, I'm gonna say, hey, I've actually done a ton of top 10 IO games list, and if you're looking for low-spec games, 3D or otherwise, man, I got you covered, dude. .io games will, fulfill that requirement of the search engine there and the search keywords. So I did some top 10s. You guys might want to go check those guys out. So I actually really do love just sharing games, and of course sharing games to different people who can consume them in different ways, such as, hey, I have a potato, I can only play certain games. What are the best games I can play? Well, that's why this list exists, and that's why all these other lists exist. So go check those out, and stuff and things. Okay, so anyways, I know this was like kind of a rushed, lazy-ish, weird top 10 list that you're not really gonna click with every single person, I understand, in every game between you guys. But when people are looking, like, they type in for a video like this, there is a lot of different reasons why, so hopefully I covered, I cast the net for that. But again, I really wanted to use this video as a vehicle to talk about all the other top 10 lists that would be extremely relevant for you guys. So yeah, you play all these games, try these games, see what works, what doesn't work. Let me know in the comments below if any of these games don't work on your machine and what machine or what specs you have there. This is a community thing. It's called Skylent Games, but it's all about the friends and family and sharing it with you guys and you guys sharing with me. So please let me know in the comments below or join my Discord in the description and, let's talk this out. But yeah, I do have a bunch of other top 10 lists. I'll put it in the comment below. Click those top 10s because I think you're going to find a lot of really cool games that maybe went under the radar. Shine some light on some of these games but these are really popular games. If you want to go dive a little bit deeper, I got some more videos that I think you'll find relevant. So thanks for watching, guys. Much love. My name's Skylent, and I'll see you in the next one.